E.T. here. See this picture? That's Manny Pacquiao. Well, Senator Pacquiao to you political junkies. And this is Floyd Mayweather, undefeated former welterweight boxing champ. This here, former lightweight champ Roberto Duran. He fought a 3-part welterweight series, a rubber match, with Ray Leonard. And this here is, do I need to tell you, George Foreman, seen in his later incarnation, several times heavyweight champion of the world. And this is Jerry Cooney. His battering ram left hook took him almost to the top, but it failed to find the mark with Foreman. The odds are that those of you who followed these fighters at the time or have since read about them are to some degree biased in favor or against these and other fighters based on factors that include race and ethnicity, nationality, religion, general behavior. And E.T. believes, social justice rhetoric to the contrary notwithstanding, that this is simply human nature. It's not a bad thing, assuming that we all remain objective in our analyses and wish no harm to any individual or group. Manny Pacquiao, when fighting somebody like Mayweather, has major support from Filipinos for reasons of, well, obviously nationality, ethnicity, and also his behavior. Manny comes across much more the gentleman and basic nice guy than does, say, Floyd Mayweather. Pacquiao is supported by Latinos, more for reasons of race and general behavior, but also for fighting style. Mayweather, like many talented black fighters, tends to dance away and avoid getting hit. Nothing wrong with that. While Latino and Filipino fighters like to get in there and mix it up. Pacquiao has white support too, and again for reasons of race. Whites identify more with the Filipino senator than they do with Mayweather. Roberto Duran, when fighting Sugar Ray Leonard or any American, had super nationalistic support from his fellow Panamanians. And that's understandable considering that the United States, for well over a century, well, since the building of the Panama Canal, has held near total control over Panama, and with a somewhat heavy hand. Duran was somewhat favored by whites too, for reasons of race, although Duran, unlike the famously affable Leonard, was notorious for his rude behavior and not exactly pro-American views. Duran was courted and got general support from Latinos generally, plus Filipinos because of race and his fighting style. Duran, perhaps more than any fighter of his era, seriously mixed it up in the ring, unlike the usually dancing Leonard. And George Foreman, up against the formidable puncher Jerry Cooney, seemed to be the overwhelming favorite of all boxing fans. Foreman was, if you remember, the lone hero to whites in particular, for his flag waving after his gold medal win in the 1968 Olympics. And he won the hearts of millions for his post-retirement preaching at a small Texas church. His very identifiable prodigious appetite for hamburgers. Who can't ID with that? That ballooned his weight up to nearly 300 pounds. And people loved him for returning to the ring 10 years after he retired in 1977, in what seemed to be a Don Quixote try for the championship one more time. George met Cooney in 1990, partway along Foreman's journey to a new heavyweight crown. And he appeared to be everybody's favorite. Certainly, he was the favorite of the press and TV commentators, although they were skeptical of the long-retired 41-year-old's chances. And some of the white commentators' enthusiasm could have been virtue signaling. Whatever. Foreman, by this time, may have been the world's most liked human being. by all factions, including those of different races, of whatever age, although Cooney was well past his prime too. Whatever nationality, whatever religion. And this was almost a decade before he got even more popular with his grill. Even David Duke would have put up money on George. In the fight with Cooney, Foreman, utilizing an Archie Moore crossed-arm defense and displaying rare speed and agility, dispatched Cooney in round 2. And 4 years later, after 2 unsuccessful tries at a championship against a younger Evander Holyfield and Tommy Morrison, won a title when he beat the then unbeaten Michael Moorer. The point to all of this is the following. Human beings tend to support their own, those with whom they share identification and sometimes genetics, by combinations of race and within that ethnicity, nationality, age, religion, general behavior, and other factors. And there's nothing wrong with that. But honest observers, the fans, will put aside many or all of the above biases for someone they generally like, such as Foreman, and as many non-Muslims in the UK and elsewhere did, say for the super talented Nassim Hamad. What do you think? Put your comments in below. Subscribe to this channel. Maybe tell your friends about it on social media. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike.